Hey everybody, Jeppy here, and today we're going over the amazing submissions you guys sent me for your elite skin ideas. Some of them are like really funny, and then some of them are more on the serious side that you would actually expect to be an elite skin, but I really do like all the submissions that I got. About a week ago, I asked all my Instagram followers if they could send me a really good idea that they have for an elite skin. Now I asked if you guys can send me some pictures or artwork that you guys draw to kind of go along with the elite skin, and I got some really good drawings and I can't wait to show you guys. Now I got about 60 submissions, so if yours didn't make it, I'm really sorry. But before I start with all the submissions, I want to let you guys know that this could very possibly be a new series on the channel. Now depending on how well this video does, I want to see if I can make a second one. So let's say if this video gets 75 likes, I'll definitely turn this into a series. So if you want to submit your own elite skin idea for a future video, if this video does really well, then make sure to leave a comment down below, or you can send me an Instagram message. Now, if you want to include any artwork or pictures with your submission, that would be amazing. And the more detail you give to like the designs, like what they're wearing, what gun weapon skin they'd have, all that good stuff, the better your chance of making it in a video. Okay, now with the intro out of the way, let's get into our first submission. Okay, so our first submission is gonna be this really sick Vigil elite skin submitted by TYRBNS, or in the Discord server Red216. I really like this elite skin idea. I think it really coincides with the discreet kind of like undercover vibe that Ubisoft likes to give to Vigil. He has the mask on, you can't see his identity. I think this is a really sick skin. The eyes and the mask are just, I think, amazing. Really good artwork too, man. Now TYRBNS also submitted a Maverick elite skin for Reznov and Call of Duty Black Ops 1. I don't know if you guys ever played that game, or I think he was also in World at War as well, but this is a Reznov elite skin. So if Call of Duty and Rainbow Six Siege were to do a crossover, this would be a Maverick skin for Reznov. Now this is a really good drawing. I really like the facial features, and honestly, I like the submission. Good job, dude. Now next we have a submission for Rambo0192, and he says Sledge Michael Myers. Now I actually had quite a few Sledge Michael Myers submissions across like Instagram or YouTube comments or whatever. A lot of people like the idea of having Sledge as Michael Myers. Maybe you could turn the hammer into something that maybe it's a pointed edge and not necessarily a sledgehammer anymore. You could definitely get him in the blue jumpsuit and get a nice mask on him. I would not be surprised if maybe Rainbow Six Siege on the next Halloween event, see if they can maybe get copyrights for Michael Myers. Like, that'd be kind of sick. Now our next submission is going to be from Pulse is a Simp, and I really like the username too, but he submitted 3, so I'm going to go over all 3. Now the first one is going to be the Jason Vigil elite skin crossover. So kind of the same thing as a Sledge Michael Myers one. This is going to be a Vigil but Jason from Friday the 13th. I really like it. This is a pretty good drawing. I like how he's like, oops, like he accidentally just killed somebody. I think this is a really good skin. Maybe Ubisoft can add something to where the MVP animation is him slashing around the knife or something, or just walking menacingly to the MVP animation, but that's pretty good. The next one that he submitted is Sheriff Warden. I really like this one. I think it goes very well with the vibe that Warden can give off. Again, a really good drawing, better than anything I could ever do. The mustache looks really good. But yeah, I like the pistol, the revolver, and he's got the sunglasses too. So I like this. I like this submission a lot. The last one that Pulse as a Sim submitted is the Thermite Devil one that he submitted. I really like this one. It kind of gives me the vibe of like Echo's skin, where Echo kind of looks like a devil too. But I think this would be really good. Maybe the MVP animation could be something where, you know, he's summoning fire, like kind of, or doing something like that, or like hell is raising from the ground or something crazy like that. But I do really like this submission. Thank you, Pulse as a Simp, for all of the drawings that you submitted as well. Now the next submission is going to be from Memer Boy, and he says the Plague Doctor Smoke. So I actually like this one because this is a image that I've seen circling around the Siege player base for a very long time. I'm sure you guys have seen this before. It's this image that I'm sure everyone's seen, but I do think this would be so much better than the current Smoke elite skin that we have. Now I'm brainstorming here, but I'm really thinking that like the MVP animation could be really cool. Now what if he's walking like off screen to the center of your screen, and the whole time like Ring Around Rosie is playing, because that's linked to the Black Death. Now like there's like all these fleas coming around the screen or something, or there's smoke coming up from like burning bodies. Like, I don't know, that's probably pretty dark, but you know, Siege is an M-rated game, so you know, anything goes. But I think this is a pretty good submission. Now this next submission is actually going to be a double, because I had 2 people submit the same thing. I got Your Biological Father and That Guy in Your Closer. I'm sorry if I butchered your name. but we're gonna get over it. And they submitted a World War II Maverick flamethrower. Now this is a really good idea. Maverick doesn't have an elite skin yet. Now this is a really good submission and I really like it. What if they were to go back to like World War II, put on that like really heavy fuel tank on his back and just have flames coming out, and maybe the MVP animation could be like him taking the flamethrower and like shooting it across the screen and all that, and then maybe hitting the camera or something. This is a really good submission and I like this one a lot. Okay, so next submission is Faison Lockhat, a really good buddy of mine, and he sent this idea. So this idea for Maverick, he is the GS UTR, but before he joins Team Rainbow, I believe he was a SEAL. I'm too lazy to fact check, but he was in the US military. Regardless, I was thinking that if he was to have an elite skin, it would be him basically redesigned as if he was in the US military. It would be cool to have like an American SEAL version and then also a GS UTR version as well. I would assume he would look much younger in his elite skin, and he could have more prototype looking blowtorch. So this is a pretty good submission. A Navy SEAL version of Maverick would look pretty cool. He would look probably dressed more so like Blackbeard as well, although Navy SEALs wear all certain types of camouflage and all that. But this is a pretty good idea, but I'm sorry FaZe, I don't think that this will beat out the World War II Maverick flamethrower idea. So I'm sorry, I like your submission, but I think that World War II flamethrower Maverick idea is just a little bit better than yours. I'm sorry. Okay, so this next submission is from Stupid Sketches on TikTok, and they put in a Caveira elite skin idea and did a whole drawing and all that, so I think this is really nice. Again, this is better than anything I can do. And this is a Caveira elite skin where she's kind of dressed up as like green camouflage, wearing some red camouflage pants, a little crop top, something to like a mask covering up her face and all that. She's got her boots on, and this person labeled all of the different things, so I think this is really good, like dog tags on the red mask, all these different things, that the braided hair and skull makeup. Really good idea. Now, one thing I did want to point out is the MVP animation that Stupid Sketches on TikTok submitted as well. And they say that Cav sneaks up from behind and interrogates the cameraman with the camera on the floor tilted sideways. Cav takes her place on the MVP spot. Now that alone is worth an entry on this video, because I really like the idea of like interacting with the MVP screen with like the cameraman. So Caveira coming up and interrogating the cameraman and the camera falling down to the ground is actually really cool, and I like that idea a lot. Thank you so much for your submission. Okay, so his next submission is from, I'm sorry if I butcher your name, but Theo Schiff. I'm sorry, but this is a Nokk elite skin, and I really like this one. The drawing is very simple. It's just Nokk in like a big veil, a morning dress. Now, I'm really liking this like creepy, like satanic vibe I'm getting from this elite skin idea, but I think the big thing I like about this is the MVP animation. It says that she throws flowers on top of the opponent's screen, covering it because she's mourning them, and then and that's what you do for dead people, right? And then the animation for your team is she throws bodies of the enemies into the graves. So I think that's actually kind of interesting, having like 5 graves around in the MVP screen, and then all of a sudden you see like her throwing a body in there and it's like covered up or wrapped up or something. So Ubisoft wouldn't have a hard time animating everything. But I really like how this person took the time to draw up an idea and really get some details in there. I like the theme we're going with this, and by the way, you have really nice handwriting. The next submission comes from Blake the Bot, and he simply says Tachanka a Jesus robe. Yeah, I wholeheartedly agree. A Tachanka Jesus robe definitely deserves an elite skin idea. Oh yeah, and don't forget to type all hail Lord Tachanka in the comments. Just don't forget to do that. Next submission comes from Martin Koltzer, and I'm really sorry if I messed up your submission, but they said I would like a Kade Elite, and it's just a Moroccan Chungus Santa. Okay, so Kade with a Santa suit. I'm guessing that Kade would have to be a lot heavier, because Kade right now he's a big boy, but he's not like gonna have to be super thick if he wanted to be a Santa elite skin. And then also a Moroccan, so he's gonna have to grow out his beard a little bit, make it really white. I like the idea. Santa skin for Kade. Not bad, not bad. Next submission comes from Tyron Blevinson, and he says that Monty's shield into a Nokia phone. Now, I don't think Ubisoft would ever do this, because that would be absolutely brokenly overpowered. I don't know if you ever tried to break a Nokia phone before, but they are virtually indestructible. Pretty sure that a Nokia phone could stop more bullets than Monty's shield can ever dream of blocking. So I think this would be a very broken elite skin idea. I don't think Ubisoft would ever add it, because a Nokia phone elite skin would be just way too strong, and I don't think they'll ever do it. Good submission anyways, Tyron Blevinson. Okay, next submission comes from Birdster. I'm sorry if I really messed up your name, but he says that I've said this before, but this is the best thing to come out of my brain in centuries. Sherlock Jackal. Okay, so a Sherlock Holmes themed Jackal, maybe a crossover between Sherlock Holmes and Jackal. This makes a lot of sense because Jackal really is the detective of Team Rainbow, sniffing for footprints all the time, trying to detect where the roamers are. I like this idea a lot. Maybe you could have some like sideburns, or maybe dress up, you know, as Sherlock Holmes would. This is a really good idea. Thank you. Next submission comes from Jesus Sketchbook, and it is Nokk as Assassin's Creed. Both are Ubisoft works, so question mark, or are a very spooky wraith. Or as a very spooky wraith. Sorry, I suck at reading. I kind of get the vibe that Nokk could belong in Assassin's Creed anyways with her default skin. I don't think there'd be too much that you could do to make it more Assassin's Creed like. Maybe have more knives on her or something. But I think Nokk already would work perfectly if they were to just take the skin of Nokk and put it on an Assassin's Creed character in game, like a female, and I think that would work very well. So I think that we already have a Assassin's Creed Nokk. Okay, so next submission comes from Finlay Green, and it is Ying's could be a traditional Chinese armor like blue metal candelas. Now I really like this idea because we don't have any like ancient Chinese armor, you know, elite skin ideas yet. So I think Ying dressing up in like maybe like a samurai or something like that, or what's pictured on screen, dressing up something like that, and the candelas can be wrapped in like leather or something too, or whatever they use to make their armor. But I like this idea. Thank you. Okay, next submission comes from Dad2, and he says, I think Castle should be a knight in shining armor, and his barricade should be stone walls or something like that. That's a really good idea on its own. But my favorite part about this submission is the MVP animation that he says at the end. His animation could involve him fighting a dragon or something cool like that. Okay, so Castle as a knight in shining armor fighting a dragon sounds a little far-fetched for Rainbow Six Siege, so I don't know if Ubisoft would ever add anything like this, but I really do like the elite skin idea, and very creative, very creative. Okay, next submission comes from Tyler Andrew Dom. I'm sorry if I messed up your last name, but he says an idea for Mozzie Elite I thought would be cool would be a Crocodile Dundee one, and then he said try to target it as like close to the movies as possible. Pest might have either croc camo or look weathered. I like this idea. I could definitely see Mozzie as like a Steve Irwin, someone who's like, crikey, look at that crocodile, I'm gonna go poke it with a stick. That was a terrible Australian accent. I'm really sorry you had to see that. But yeah, I like the idea. I think Mozzie would definitely fit the vibe for that. The next submission comes from Exploding, and it is an elite skin idea. I had one for Mozzie. Oh, another Mozzie elite skin idea, and it was a crossover with Trials. I didn't know what Trials was, so I was talking to him to figure out what it is. And apparently it's like a BMX or like a dirt bike racing kind of game. I've never played it, but he sent me Trials Rising, so where maybe they would do a crossover with Rainbow Six Siege and then have Mozzie do an elite skin. And I like this idea because it would fit the vibe for Mozzie a lot. As same thing with the Crocodile Dundee one, and yeah, I think it looks pretty good. Thank you. Okay, next submission comes from Shorty26385, and it says Mozzie. Oh, another Mozzie elite skin idea. Dang, that's 3 in a row. Okay, Mozzie should just be a like firefighter, because Australia and fire, plus it would just be funny. That's a really good idea. The picture I have on screen would be a very good Mozzie elite skin. I think you know, just absolutely shredded, typical firefighter calendar, Christmas special or summer special. I like it a lot. I definitely could picture Mozzie absolutely shredded with bunker shorts on, or bunker pants on, and turnout gear. Maybe MVP animation, he's putting out a fire. Pretty good idea. Thank you. Okay, so last submission comes from Adam Leesky, and he says epic skin idea, Ghostbuster Lion. And then we talked a little bit, and then he said like anytime like you press the drone, I forget what the name of the drone is, every time you press it, and it'll say who they gonna call, and then like as soon as it like boom, and everybody has to stay still, and then it's like Ghostbusters. I think it's a pretty good idea. He could look exactly like the people I had pictured up on screen, the original Ghostbusters. And yeah, I like this idea. Thank you very much. Okay, everybody, so that was all the elite skin ideas I could fit in one video. If you want to make sure that we can turn this into a series, make sure, remember, the goal for this video is 75 likes. So if we hit 75 likes, that would be truly amazing, and I'll turn this into a series. Now remember, if you want to send your elite skin idea, you can do so by leaving a comment down below, or you can send me a Instagram message. Remember to include drawings or pictures or a lot of detail to your submission, because those would have the best chance on making it into a video. Also remember to like and subscribe and turn on notifications if you're new. Now with all that being said, Jeppy out!